welcome back to my channel where I love two things, Jesus my Lord and Savior and food. So today we're going to be doing sauerkraut, making some sauerkraut. I'm going to show you the beginning process of how to do it. It takes a while, it's I think about 5 weeks, the directions say, for the cabbage to ferment. But since cabbage is abundant this time of year, St. Patty's Day is next week, I am feeling like we should be making some sauerkraut. Summer's coming, hot dog toppings are needed, right? So what I've already done is I have shredded in my food processor 4 large cabbages. And what you need to do is you need to let it sit in its brine for about 15 minutes or so. This has been sitting a little bit longer. But you need to add 1 cup of pickling, canning salt to this, and that'll start to make its own brine. It breaks down the cabbage and starts to create a really good liquid. I also have some extra brine in the pot back there if we need it. So let's get going. It's super easy to do this step. We are just literally going to fill, you know what, I'm just gonna use my hands, it'll be easier. We're going to fill up our jar. I have 1 gallon jar here. I will definitely need more than just this 1 jar. But I have my 1 gallon jar here that I love saving from my honey. And it comes in handy with all sorts of things. I love to water glass eggs. I don't know if any of you have heard of that. I'll do a video. I usually don't water glass my eggs until come fall for the winter when my hens slow down their laying. And so this jar is perfect to water glass your eggs in because you can have a good bit of eggs in there. But not too many. I used to do it in a 5-gallon bucket and that was just too much. I was having eggs break and it was just a mess. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to fill this up almost to the top, but not quite to the top. And then at the bottom of this pot, the cabbage has created from the salt that we added its own brine, like I was saying. And you want to cover this cabbage with a good bit of brine, because you do not want it to touch the air. This is going to ferment for a while, and if the air gets to the cabbage, it's going to go bad. I didn't have the proper weights the last time I tried it. I think it was back this past fall. I was trying to make more of this. I didn't have the weights yet, and I was just trying to use whatever I had around. I think I used a bag of like dried beans, and it just was not heavy enough. It was not working properly. And so you want to push this down, and that helps create some of the liquid at the bottom from your cabbage. Take off my watch. Let's keep going. And then, like I said, I have a pot of brine behind me. I may just use that to add to the top and save some of this brine for the next jar. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just pack it down, creating the liquid, and then we're going to put the weights down so that we can make sure that it's underneath the liquid. And then every day you're going to check on it. It needs to be in a dry place, stored in a dry place for, like I said, I think it's 5 weeks, but I could be wrong. I'm using the fall canning and preservation book. That's where my recipe is from. So if anyone's interested in finding it, that's where I got it from. And I should tell you on there. But there we go. I realized pretty quickly trying to cut up 4 large cabbages that I am in desperate need of some bigger bowls. Had to use my canning pot. And even that, before it shriveled down, it was at the very top, and I was trying to stir it all up, and it was just a mess. There was cabbage everywhere. Alright, we're going to come to the top because I don't want to fill it all the way to the top because we need to have room for the liquid and we need to have room for the canning weights that we're going to put in here. I haven't even made a dent. I still have all of this. This is so much. And then what we're going to do in 5 weeks is when this is all fermented, I will do a video on how to can up all of this, which is also fun. There's nothing better than homemade sauerkraut. in my opinion. Love sauerkraut. All right, so I don't know if you can see it on the video, but see the liquid? Oh, the label's in the way. See the liquid coming out? That's what you want. So you keep pushing it down. And you want to be able to create, let's see, what does it say? 4 inches between the cabbage and the rim of the container. And then it just says to add brine. It doesn't really tell you how much, so we're just gonna make sure that it's covered in some brine. So we'll do a little bit more cabbage. And make sure you have a big space to do this because it does make a mess. Cabbage was everywhere. It's all over the floor. It's everywhere. Okay, here we go. I think that might be good. Maybe one more handful, because there we go. Okay. Now, like I was starting to say, every day you're going to pull it out from wherever you have it stored. You're going to pull the weights out of it, and you're going to do just what I'm doing now. Push it down, make sure that it's covered. And just check on it. You don't always have to pull the weights out, but just you have to make sure that it's covered. See all this liquid now? That's what you want. And then we're going to take our pot. Oh, you know what? I'm just not going to try this. We're going to get the brine that I have over here. And we're going to pour some of it on. So this brine is just, this is just salt water. They give you in the book, they give you what to do. It's 4.5 cups of water, and I think it's like 3.5 teaspoons of salt. Okay, so here's my cool little weights. And all you're going to do, because see how some of this cabbage has floated to the top? You don't want that. So you're going to put your weights in. Well, I might have actually had too much liquid now. And we're going to just, actually, he got me, look how cute these are. He got me these little cute ones too. And I might put one of these in because these bigger ones might be a little too big. How cute that is. And all it does is, do you see now? I don't want to spill it, but see how it's just liquid at the top? You can see all of the cabbage at the bottom. And again, you just keep on checking it. You're going to check it every day. Make sure that the cabbage is still below the weights, that there's plenty of liquid at the top. And that's it. And so we'll check back in 5 weeks and check and see how our sauerkraut turned out. Thanks so much for joining me. Consider, if you like things like this, consider giving me a like. Consider subscribing to my channel. I love all things food preservation and simple swaps in the kitchen to make your life healthier. Thanks so much. I'll see you again next time. Bye.